right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Chamber Chat. I got another special guest in the car today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we will kick it off from there.
I'm Dana Hughes from Sweetgrass Physical Therapy and Wellness here in Corvallis.
And you are, kind of like me, somewhat new to the community.
Yeah, been here since summer of 2018.
Love it.
Uh-huh.
So, obviously, a bit longer than me then, yeah. And what brought you down here?
Well, interestingly enough, my husband and I took a motorcycle trip, like one of those epic trips where you take like 3 weeks off work.
Yeah.
We lived in Montana at the time, so we were going to take our bike and start out in Astoria and ride down the Pacific Coast Highway through California.
Yeah.
And then we planned to like go through the Grand Canyon and then head up back home. But we had bike trouble on the coast, and we lost the shock in Waldport, which we didn't know at first, but he kept yelling at me at Tillamook. He was like, "Stop leaning the bike." I'm like, "Honey, I'm not leaning the bike." So wherever we went, I'd hunker down and just be real careful, like not to move. And we stopped at the Tillamook Dairy.
Oh, the creamery.
The creamery.
Tillamook. Oh, yeah. It's not a bad place to stop.
And I'm like, "Jimmy, the bike smells funny." He's like, "Oh, it's fine." I'm like, "No, something's wrong with this bike." So finally, we get to Waldport for the night where we were staying, and we realized the shock was broken on the bike. So the only place that fixes Yamaha bikes is in Sublimity. So we had to ride in through the...
Dang.
We rode from Waldport through Route 34 with a broken shock on our bike pulling a trailer, being followed by 80,000-pound log trucks. And so we came through Philomath and Corvallis, and that's how we got introduced to the area.
Yeah, that seems all right. You know what's funny is you are the second person in about 3 weeks who's done that sort of taken a big old bike ride. One of my previous chamber chats, we had a lady named Jaylene, and she did a ride with her husband down to the tip of South America. Back from here, a little further, but same deal, right? So
awesome.
So for the the millions of people who are going to be watching these,
yes.
What's Sweetgrass all about? What give us the rundown on what it is, what you do, how you get started, all that good stuff.
So it's a physical therapy practice. We provide physical therapy for orthopedic problems, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, or neurological problems, like if a person's had a stroke, or even if you just have something as simple as like tennis elbow, or you sprained your ankle, or if you have chronic pain, we can treat all of that. So we have space for also massage therapists who can provide that service if needed, and a nice big open gym. And
it's a
we're just
great
there
space.
to help you with your bodily ails.
Help get it where it needs to be. Do you see the space that you have is obviously fantastic. It's over on Spruce, right behind the Citizens Bank there, in that little strip mall. Is it a strip? It's not really a strip mall, is it?
It's kind of next to the strip mall.
Yeah, kind of around there. So it's fantastic space, and the services that you offer are something obviously that you've been doing for a while.
27 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you've been around, because you had the practice in Montana.
Yes, we had the practice for 8 years in Montana, and just kind of got tired of the cold and the snow. And we kind of grew to the limits of our container in terms of it's hard to recruit people to work there.
Sure.
Professionals especially, and so it was either branch out to where we can hire some more people to help us do what we do, or just keep struggling to see everybody and service all the clients. So we decided it was time to come back to civilization.
Yeah, no kidding. When the name Sweetgrass actually is you told me already the fascinating story about Sweetgrass. What's the scoop behind that?
So our previous location was in Cutbank, Montana, which borders the Blackfeet Indian Reservation.
Right.
And one of the dominant features in the landscape is called the Sweetgrass Hills. It's kind of like a little formation of 3 mountains just stuck in the middle of the high prairie. And sweetgrass is used in native healing rituals for purification and cleansing. And so we named a practice that for those reasons. And then it just seemed like a good idea to carry that name forward to this area.
And is Sweetgrass, is it native to that area, or?
It is, yes.
Okay.
It grows throughout like the northern United States and Canada. I think it can grow here too. I have some seed, but it's not doing too good.
Okay.
I tried.
It's a little different climate.
But it's dried and it's braided, and then you can burn it like incense, and it makes a very nice like vanilla scent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And did your family all grew up in and around Montana, in the area, or where are they from originally?
Originally, we're from New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Jimmy's a Philly boy.
You've been all over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we moved to Montana after we got married in 2002.
Another bike ride? You just like, yeah, we broke down here now?
No. No, that was a purposeful, let's move west. I always wanted to practice out west. When I was in college, I did a internship that I set up for myself in Colorado.
Okay.
And really enjoyed medicine because people are different out here. You know, East Coast people they're high strung.
I was like, what is she going to say? What word is she going to use?
And they're very direct. So sometimes people
yeah.
don't know how to take East Coast people. So
Yeah.
we kind of like enjoyed the laid back nature of Western.
That's why they say left coast, best coast, right? Come on.
West Coast, best coast.
You know, so that's all good. Is there, you know, within the physical therapy world, I don't know if the last 2 years, so to speak, or 2.5 years has got anything to do with it necessarily, but are there more common sort of ailments that you're starting to see, or is it kind of still, you know, I mean, regardless of people being stuck at home or being a little bit more sedentary than they were before?
Well, in the early days of the pandemic, when people switched to like working at home, like especially teachers, and other people who would normally like work on a computer at an office, there was like a slew of like neck and shoulder problems, shoulder tendonitis, because now suddenly they're on a computer all day,
hunched over,
with with like poor setup because they don't have the right kind of desk, or you know, they're just trying to get by and make do with this new situation. Yeah. So I saw a lot of that, and that seems to have subsided now, I think, as people are going back to work. But I've definitely seen in the last 2 years people who have, you know, just completely fallen off their normal exercise routine.
So that was what I was going to ask you, yeah.
Because they're,
people put on a few pounds, come on.
Put on a little weight, yeah. But, you know, there's just still some concern about going to the gym. So I think we've seen people's ability to manage their previous problems deteriorate because of the lack of ability to get out and go to the gym and, you know, and even get medical care. It's been tough. Yeah. It's been tough to access.
Well, and you guys are obviously not just in the world of medicine, but you're considered a medical facility. So you guys, along with every other PT place, every other hospital, clinic, you know, whatever, you're still under mask mandates, and you still got to look after that side of it as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How's that going?
Well, you know, it's funny, as things were opening back up, but we were still having to mask.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'd have a person come in insisting that they had an exemption for a mask, which they really didn't. And so there was like a little tiny bit of friction there. But unfortunately, it's like, I'm sorry, this is the rule, and if you don't have an actual medical exemption, I can't help you. But
you can't work the system here, people.
So I'm sure a lot of folks who are not willing to mask are just not coming for therapy. It's necessary because some of our people can't, for their medical health reasons, get vaccinated, and we just have to all protect each other. So
it's time to be nice. Think about other people. Why'd you do it? Why'd you get into it?
So when I was a kid, I rode horses competitively, and I hurt my back when I was like 14, but it was misdiagnosed because I was too young to have the problem that I really had. So they said, oh, it's a pulled muscle. And then, because I had pain down my leg, and then it kind of got better, and then a few months later it happened in the other leg, like, oh, you pulled another muscle. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what I'm doing to pull these muscles, but okay. So like, finally I was at the point where I couldn't put my own shoes and socks on because it hurt so much to bend. So I got to a different doctor by accident because my doctor was in emergency surgery, and he's like, let's get an MRI. So long story short, I had a herniated disc, which is very unusual for a child of that age. And so I always knew I wanted to be like in medicine of some kind, whether, you know, to be a doctor or, you know, a veterinarian. But being exposed to physical therapy made me realize, like, oh, I can still work in medicine, but not have to take call in this lifetime. So,
oh, good call.
In a selfish move,
Hey, that's nothing wrong with that.
PT. But I think my perspective as an injured child going through PT, trying to compete nationally in equestrian events, gives me a good perspective.
You were that good, huh?
Yeah, I went on to compete at the National Horse Show at Madison Square Garden in 1988.
Really?
During the time I was doing PT for my herniated disc. Yeah.
Dang. What type of, was like horse jumping or what was it?
Yeah, like a junior equitation. So that's the ASPCA Alfred B. McClay finals that I went to there.
Dang. How'd you do?
My horse bucked.
Oh dear.
Because he was having so much fun in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
But I did well. I didn't place, but getting there as
no kidding,
one of the top 100 competitors in the country was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, just getting there was the great part.
And getting a horse into Madison Square Garden had to be.
It's really wild. Okay, so think of being in a high-rise building, looking down at the city street, and you'll see a horse van. And you would walk the horse off the van and into this giant serpentine ramp that goes up and up and up, because the floor level of Madison Square Garden, like where the ice rink would be or where the horse show was, is like 5 or 6 stories up.
Oh,
so
is it really?
You would have to hand walk the horse up this spiral ramp to get up to the stabling and the horse show area.
That's a pretty cool experience, huh?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the things that we do, but actually before we move on to the next little bit, you don't practice alone, right? It's not just you in the building. Who else you got with you?
So I'm the only clinician right now, but my husband Jimmy runs the front desk and does the IT, and he's my therapy aide right now, and handyman, security, all that. And then and my mother, she does our billing.
That's cool.
And she sometimes fills in at the front desk as well.
So when you talk about a family business, it literally is the family, right?
We're the 3 owners.
That's super cool. That's really cool. So one of the things that we do with Chamber Chat is we talk about obviously the business. We want to learn about Sweetgrass, and everything to do with that. But we also like to learn about the people behind the business. So if it's cool with you, we can talk about you for a little bit and see who you are. People want to, especially in PT, it's very hands-on. You're dealing with people, right? They want to know. They want to know how cool you are. Oh, and let's try not to get killed by this car. So if you're cool, let's. Although if I'm going to get injured, I would like to get injured with you in the car. That would be cool.
Yes, because I would know exactly how to treat you.
You could help fix me right after.
Right. Well, that kind of brings me to one of my specialties that I do want to highlight before I talk about too much more personal stuff. So one of the differences between me and the other therapy locally is that I specialize in this technique called counterstrain, which is a way to relieve like a trigger point. So like we almost just got backed into, right, by a parked car. So if you had a whiplash, so if we hit that car and we would have gone forward, back, and I did that a couple of times, that's a whiplash. And so the muscles in your head and neck would be acting really hard to try to keep your head from becoming injured. Yeah. And then they might, those really strong muscle contractions that occurred might not shut down. And that's part of what makes pain during a whiplash. Aside from what it might do to your joints and your neck, but the muscles, like if you ever had like a sore spot, like here in your neck, I can probably bring you to the floor, squeezing right there, right now.
It's good to know.
But muscles, when they have gone through some type of a trauma or a strain, like a whiplash, or you're slipping and you grab something to keep you from falling, or the dog runs away with you. Muscles act to protect us, and sometimes those protective reflexes don't shut down. So it can leave an area of muscle that's really sore, which hurts where the sore spot is, but it can make you feel pain elsewhere. So like for instance, up here in the trap, that can make you have a headache. It can make you have pain in the back of your head. And so each muscle in the body has this pattern of pain referral that helps us determine when it's a trigger point versus maybe you have a pressure on your nerve or something. But this technique is really simple. I can make the pain go away by positioning the muscle in a position of relaxation and when I press that muscle again, it won't feel so bad. So you can tell me I'm in the right place. When we wait 90 seconds, then the body's neurological process kind of relaxes that input that's been telling the muscle to be on guard, and then it relaxes.
And it's called counter strain?
Counter strain, yeah.
Huh.
And it's just a really simple way to relieve pain from muscle injury.
Is this not probably unique to you specifically?
No. It's just it's like a little utilized technique. It comes from the osteopathic world. It was actually created by Larry Jones, who was a DO from not Toledo, Oregon, but Ontario, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Way out east.
Yeah, that is way out.
Yeah. So it's a really great technique, and I incorporate it into most of my treatments, and it's just like magical.
And is it I mean, I wouldn't know. Is it sort of a one-time kind of like, hey, I can fix? I mean, it depends.
Yeah,
on the thing, right?
For some points, it usually takes 1 to 2 treatments per point to get them to calm down, provided you remove the aggravating factor. You know, like if it comes from your mouse being too high and you're on the computer all day, like, oh, it might, if we don't fix that, it might take a little longer.
Yeah.
Yes, it's highly effective in just a few treatments.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So if you need counter strain stuff, or if you have bad, actually, and you mentioned the traps. I'm sure part of being hunched over all day, every day is part of that as well, right?
Right.
You could fix that as well. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, what I love to do is like really listen to the person about what their problem is, and they give me clues about how I can help them modify their daily life to fix the problem they have, and that's really my specialty.
I love it.
But that comes from all my personal experience with therapy as a child. Like that really that makes it so.
This was quite some doctor visit back then. I mean, or lack of, or maybe not the greatest one, but it was. It certainly formed how you're doing things. That's great.
Yeah. So I'm a horsewoman, and I also do therapy for horses.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like PT on the horses?
Yeah, like to help the horse feel better, like massage or stretching or yes.
Oh, hang on. You stretch a horse? How do you stretch a horse?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Sometimes use carrots to help them, follow with their head or neck. But you can take a leg and you can stretch it in all different directions.
How many times in one of those sessions do you get kicked real bad?
Well, you learn to listen to the animal, so you watch their body language. You're always looking at their ears in your peripheral vision, because their ears will tell you what they're looking at. And if they're getting upset, they'll flatten them, or they'll give you a clue.
Okay.
They normally don't just lash out at you for no reason. If you're paying attention, they will tell you.
I think you're the first person I've ever met that does PT for horses. This is cool. Is this just kind of like I don't make it sound like a side gig or something? Is it just part of something you just are interested in, or is there is an actual school that you go to do this?
You can do like additional training after PT school to become specialized equine therapy. I got an equine sports massage therapy license when I first got out of school. I did like 2 weeks in Ocala, Florida, where we did all
this is crazy.
Training. So I did equine massage for a really long time while I was still in New Jersey. But when I moved to Montana, in order to work on an animal in that capacity, I would have had to have a vet license or a vet tech license. So I didn't work on anything but my own horses during that time. But now here in Oregon, with a vet's referral, I can work on a horse.
I literally had no idea that was a thing. That's cool though. I mean, if you think about it, why not, right?
Yes.
Horses have huge muscles.
Yes, and they're very they're demanded upon in a lot of ways.
Oh, sure.
They're so athletic. So one of the things I'm hoping to develop as I build a practice and have the ability to hire some of the people and then leave the office to go do some other things is a horse and rider program. So where I will look at the rider and the horse together and treat the rider's body to help the horse's body function better, so to improve performance and that kind of thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's a long-range goal for Sweetgrass.
And I gotta think there's not probably too many of those people around, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of competitors.
Who do the PT.
Well, there's a bunch of people who do massage for sure, and there's like veterinarians that do chiropractic on horses, and I don't know if there's anybody that does what I want to do in looking at the horse and the rider together. I think
that's cool.
That could be a unique skill.
Dang, we knew you when. Look at that, right? Well, so like I said, Chamber Chat. We gotta, you know, we want to learn a little bit about you and you know, and how things. So we already knew you grew up back east. Yep. And then you moved to Montana, moved to Oregon, broke down, stayed in Oregon, or eventually moved to Oregon.
We came back.
So there's a bit of travel going on. So where is? I'll ask you some questions, and then you shoot off some answers, and we'll see where we go. Where is the best place ever that you've visited? Anywhere in the country, in the world, or wherever. Yeah. Are you like, I'll go back there?
Best place ever. Well, Glacier National Park.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is a really close second to Grand Canyon.
Somebody else said the Grand Canyon the other day as well.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever been?
I've been one time. I took an RV down there, and I went to the, I forget what it's called. It's like the South Side.
South Rim.
South Rim, that's it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, and
it makes you feel like this big.
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up in England, obviously, and everything's kind of a little bit smaller and tighter there. You know, there's no room for a Grand Canyon there. But I was amazed at just how massive it is. Like, not hyperbole. It's as far as you can see.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Pretty wild.
When did you go?
Well, my grandmother lived in Arizona when I was a kid, so we went a couple of times then. And then Jimmy and I went on another bike trip that we took a separate time because we didn't make it to the Grand Canyon the first time.
Right.
So that was probably like 2006, 07.
Nice.
Somewhere in that time frame.
What about bucket list? Place you haven't been but you want to go? Anywhere in the world?
Well, I really would like to go to Hawaii, but I'm going to reserve that until I'm retired because I will not come back.
You got a feeling you're just going to stay? Are you a beach person? Like, is that it?
Oh yeah, I grew up on the beach and I love the ocean, love to swim, and that's part of the reason for coming here to Oregon is because here in Corvallis you can get to the coast, you can get to the mountains and ski, which I like to do. You can get to Portland and be entertained, which I like to do the entertainment. So that's the other personal.
That's right. That's right.
You want to hear about?
Oh, we're gonna get into that. Yeah. So bucket
list, Hawaii.
Yeah. But be prepared not to come back.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Well, shoot. I mean, you talked about. Well, we talked about it before we were recording. Favorite music?
Rock and roll.
Nice. Any particular band? Like if you had to pick one band, you know, that was
I cannot pick one band.
Oh, I mean, I gotta narrow you down to maybe 2 or 3 then? Come on.
2 or 3 would be Led Zeppelin.
Nice. You like?
Rush.
Okay.
Motley Crue. But I also like...
Little Crew. I love it.
I also like Billy Joel. Barry Manilow was a favorite of mine when I was a kid. Barry Manilow. Loved Barry Manilow.
Not exactly rock and roll, though.
No.
I mean...
No. Carole King, she's another, songwriter, so...
Okay.
Growing up outside New York City, we had the best radio ever, and I spent a lot of time in the car as a kid, so I listened to a lot of radio.
Nice. Also...
Beatles. I'm sorry, I should have said Beatles right off the bat.
I don't know Beatles. I don't know. So people may not know, you are also in a band.
Yes, I am a bass player, and I sing, and a songwriter, and I play in a band with my husband Jimmy, who plays guitar, and the band is called Kickstar.
Kickstar. And do you perform all over the place, or are you just kind of
Well, we're working on it. Pandemic kind of put a kibosh on that, so we're just starting to get back out there, and we've been playing some gigs in Salem and
where can people find you next?
Albany.
You're in Albany?
Tomorrow, yes.
River Rhythms?
No, we played at the barn at Hickory Station.
No way.
Yeah.
I love that place. I live like a half a mile from there.
Oh,
I'm always
you'll
there.
have to come in September.
Okay.
Sunday, September 18th, we're there.
Okay.
Again. So tomorrow we'll play in Monmouth at the Drytown Tap Station.
Dang. Okay. All right. Well, can people find your music anywhere online?
Yes. It should be on iTunes, Apple Music,
Just look up Kickstar.
Kickstar.com.
Two words?
One word.
All right. Nice. And it's just the two of you?
So we have a drummer too.
Okay.
The drummer is currently a guy out of Kaiser.
All right.
Yeah. But we're.
How long have you been doing it
branch
for?
out. Oh gosh, well Jimmy and I have been in this band together since like '99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go back to the
Played all
touring
over
days.
Montana. Yeah, we did all kinds of festivals.
And is it rock and roll
parties.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Don't want to be playing
classic, originals.
Oh, it is. So you do originals as well. It's not
Yeah,
like
we do
cover
like
stuff.
Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, Beatles, Eagles, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, that kind of stuff.
I gotta just like
Digest.
well, yeah, like talking to you. I just we haven't known each other a long time, but you're like very mellow, very calm, very good. And I'm just like, and then you're like, yeah, and we cover Black Sabbath. I'm like,
Yeah.
What? How is it? What is happening here? That's cool. That's really cool.
Is I do have to tell my patients, especially if they come see me, I have to say, you're never going to think of me the same again.
Right.
Just see me perform.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome. Food. You eat? I'm assuming you eat.
Yes, too much.
Okay, all right. Favorite food? If your death row meal, you can only have
Probably
one more thing.
Pizza.
Oh, really?
Pizza.
Pineapple? No pineapple.
Oh yeah, pineapple. Pineapple and mushroom.
It belongs on a pizza.
Definitely.
Yeah. Settles
We
that
like
argument. Is there a particular now being from East Coast area? They got pretty decent pizza out there, right? Or at least Chicago kind, or is that just a nah? I don't know.
No, I'm not fond of Chicago style. It's got to be New York style, thin crust, good cheese. If the cheese is good, it's greasy, and that's there should be the ratio. And this is important for all of you pizza makers in Corvallis to know.
We're getting
the
into it now.
ratio of cheese to sauce is very important.
Okay.
There should not be a wad of cheese on the pizza. There should be cheese just barely covering the pizza, so the sauce is visible.
It's
slightly.
a one-hand pickup, fold kind of bending over in the
you
thing.
fold it in the middle. Maybe you dip your napkin in there to keep the good cheesy grease from rolling onto your hand. But yeah. Oh, and traditional cut. This cutting a square pizza or a round pizza into the squares is not for me.
Not okay.
No.
Tastes different.
Always ask for traditional cut.
So, have you ever seen? There's a on Instagram. There's a thing called Barstool Sports, and there's one of the guys who does it. And I'll send you afterwards, or I'll put up on here. But all he does is reviews pizzas in New York. It's amazing. But that's where I was. It kind of made me laugh because he's got these giant slices of pizza that sort of he holds in his hand, and they're bending over, and he's got to hold it up here to even get it in his mouth.
It's a nice thin crust.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you might have to take two hands for that first couple of bites.
Yeah.
So the tip isn't dripping all over, but yeah.
What's the worst thing you've ever eaten that you would never eat again?
Lutefisk.
Oh, is that like a Norwegian something or other?
Oh God.
What is this? It's a fish, right?
Yeah, it's some kind of weirdly prepared fish, and it's disgusting, and I'll never eat it again. Ugh.
What was the story? Was it just you thought, hey, this is a good idea?
Okay, so in the area of north central Montana where we live, there's a lot of Norwegian folks, and so they would have like festivals and stuff, and I don't know, somebody suggested you have to try lutefisk, and
no. How is it? What is it, like raw? I don't know. I don't think I've even seen it.
Maybe we didn't make it right. I don't know. It was not right. But I love. We're seafood lovers, so I just don't know if we were.
Oh, so it's not a fish thing.
Prepared.
It's that fish.
I don't even know if it really is fish, but yeah, whatever it was terrible.
So sorry for I mean, if it goes on a pizza, it's cool, but definitely not. Are you a movie buff? You like movies?
I like comedy movies. That's my favorite.
What's your favorite movie? Or favorite maybe comedic actor or actress?
I have a few favorite movies, but my most favorite, really super inappropriate but hysterical movie is Blazing Saddles.
Really? That's a great movie.
Followed by a close second by Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Very inappropriate. Holy Grail is pretty rough too. Not as bad as Life of Brian, but
right.
Blazing Saddles. That's a great movie. Holy smokes! I haven't seen that movie in like, what's the big dude's name? Mongo. Yeah, when he punches the horse. You know. Oh man. Oh wait, you can't like that. He punches the horse out. Well, whatever. The horse will need help afterwards, so maybe that's where you.
Yeah, he needs some PT.
Yeah, that's where you come in. That's pretty cool. So is it more like you just like old comedy movies, or is it particular like you like the old classics, or what's?
Oh, anything comedy is fine by me.
Yeah. Nice. If you could meet one person alive today, could be someone famous, could be a celebrity, could be just be whatever, somebody you know about, who would it be?
I would like to meet Geddy Lee from Rush, the bass player from the band Rush.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like an idol.
What would you say to him?
Well, thank you, number one, for your great music, and teach me how to play some better bass.
That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
What about someone in history who is, maybe they're dead, long gone, can be, who? Anybody.
Ben Franklin.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. What'd you ask Ben?
What would I ask Ben?
Was he really that smart?
I would ask him what his real relationship was with Betsy Ross.
Ooh, scandalous.
So one of the things I did when I was in college in Philly was I drove horse and buggy around Independence Hall and Liberty Bell, and that was my job, giving history tours. So that's why I say Ben Franklin, because he invented so many really cool things.
Yeah.
Like, did you know he invented swimming flippers?
No. Like the things you put on your feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Did you know he invented reading glasses?
No, but you do see pictures of him with those little half moon things on.
Yeah, he invented like a ton of things. And I would like to meet him for that reason, just to get into his mind.
Yeah. That would be kind of, you're right. He's sort of associated with so many like different little things, inventions, or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he was just like a nightmare to live with, though.
Yes, because he didn't bathe.
Oh.
He would take air baths, so like he would open the windows and just kind of.
An air bath?
Yes.
I think I got a couple of teenagers who occasionally would take an air bath.
Yeah, but he apparently didn't believe in bathing for whatever reason.
Well, he's a smart guy. He must have his reasons.
It maybe just allowed him solitude.
Oh, that's a good.
Because like, who would want to hang out with you if you just stunk real bad all the time?
All the time, right. As we wrap up here, COVID obviously has been pretty. I don't think anybody could say it's been a great time, right?
No.
Especially in your industry, especially. But we're 2.5 years into it. We're sort of, I wouldn't say coming out, but we are definitely. It's getting better. What's as crappy as the last 2 years have been, what's something personal and professional? Maybe start with the professional. That's come out of it. That's good. That you found that's good come out of COVID. What's been good for the business? Your business particularly. There's not a lot of good things been going on in the old health industry. There's got to be some stuff, though.
Yeah, I think one good thing that came out of it was that we learned to utilize technology to continue providing the services we do as therapists, which is interesting because I was when I was in Montana, I was on the State Board of Physical Therapy, and one thing we were trying to do was get telehealth, which now is a common word, right?
Yeah,
but at the time it was like, what, are you kidding me? How are you going to see a person for physical therapy through video? Because a lot of the reservations would not have access to services. People would be driving 3 hours one way to get PT, and what they wanted to do is utilize a PT assistant on site and a physical therapist through tele-video communication to help provide therapy. And we were trying to get it approved by the legislature in Montana to allow that to happen, and people were just looking at you like you had 10 heads.
Oh yeah.
So now it took a pandemic 3 years later to make us say, oh well, we can use this technology, we can provide therapy to people who can't get out or otherwise receive services. So that is one good thing professionally that came out of it.
No kidding. That is cool. What about personal? Yeah. You made it through. Well, through,
I'm very fortunate that we got moved and settled the time that we
yeah,
did.
no
That's
kidding.
for sure. But personally, I think one thing I noticed is that wearing masks has made people look each other in the eye better.
That's a good answer.
Because there's nothing else to look at. And so I found that for me, it made me more aware of looking people in the eye. That's a really
good answer.
And so I hope that's something that continues as we demask.
Yeah.
Demaskify.
Well, hopefully we end up demasking, you know, with you guys especially. But
someday.
That's a great answer. Yeah. If people want to get a hold of you, I guess we should probably give out some contact information or how they can find you.
Sure. So on the web, sweetgrasspt.com, or just search for Dana Hughes and physical therapy in Corvallis. You'll come up with me. You can stop by at our office. It's at 971 Northwest Spruce, so it's over near Market of Choice, kind of by Citizens Bank, and it's a barbershop. Everybody knows that barbershop.
Right there. And what about phone number?
541-207-3436, or check us out on Facebook, Sweetgrass Physical Therapy.
It's a super cool studio. It's a super cool place. It's got a great space in there.
Used to be Live Well Yoga Studio, so that's pretty
that's right. Yeah, it did. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, so right there. Stop on in, give them a call. Dana is doing a great job there. We're super happy to have her as part of the chamber. And thanks for being trucking around in a car.
Yeah.
I actually learned a ton of stuff today. This is great.
I try to be interesting.
No, this is more educational than I normally get. This is cool.
You didn't want me to sing?
Oh, do you want to sing?
I don't know. What do you want me to sing? You heard my set list. What do you want to hear?
So I told Dana right before this, right, as we were coming out, I've done, 50, 60 of these things. 2 people have sung. Alex Tardif and Chrissy Marquardt are the only 2 people to sing.
So what do you want to hear? You name it.
I don't know. Dealer's choice. What do you got? Dealer's choice. Come on. What's your go-to? Come on. We're gonna get some singing here.
I could do Pat Benatar.
Let's do it. I mean, not let's do it. You do it. You don't. Yeah.
You know the real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me. That's okay, let's see how you do it. Put up your dukes, so let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
That's good. That's good.
Someday I want to do a medley of all songs that are like really good therapy songs. You know, like, hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Yeah, every once in a while, it's just song that comes on the radio. I'm like, oh, that's a good therapy song.
Write that one down. That would be
cool. Tiger.
Just have it playing. Yeah. Born to Run.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be great. Bruce. Yeah, that'd be cool. Thanks for singing first.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thanks for stopping around with us.
Thank you for interviewing me. I really appreciate it.
No worries. And we will see you guys on another episode of Chamber Chat. See you later.
Bye.
And that